I feel like this is something I've been meaning to address for a while. I've mentioned in a few videos how my trade is a designer, and my most disliked video is my livery ranking, where I put the Alpha Tauri as the worst livery on the paddock. To me, it's not my cup of tea. I don't dig it. And a lot of people disagree. There's a lot of people who firmly believe it is the best livery. One of those people being Jess McFadden. If you haven't seen the podcast I did with her, that was my last video. It's also on Spotify and iTunes. Give that a watch. It's an hour and a half, but we're all in isolation, so I'm sure you've got the time. But again, I feel that, you know, with my skill set, I can actually do something about it and give you guys a taste of what I think, you know, my take on the Alpha Tauri livery, what I think it maybe should have been. But first, let's look at the current car. I've got this. This is my kind of base image that I'm going to use to build my own version of the livery. First of all, let's talk about what I do like about it. I dig the Honda in the red. It offsets with the rest of the car. I like that. I think that's a very nice inclusion. Other than that, what else do I like about it? I like the Honda badge on the front, actually. I think that's a nice size. I appreciate that. And just this kind of black nose cone. That looks funky. I like that. I dig that. Otherwise, there's not really much that I'm approving. This whole area, the angle of this curve for me is just a bit of a no-no. I'm not enjoying what I'm looking at, if I'm honest. So what I decided to do, let's bring it back to basics. It's a mainly white car, so it's very nice to work from, and we can build something ourselves. So yeah, let's jump into it. First and foremost, I remove the livery from the car, desaturate it. Pretty much, I've left the little nose cone bit on because whatever, that's fine. I've desaturated and I've made white what I want to make white, because one of my qualms is that I don't like the navy. I really don't like it. It's too dark to pass for. It's like black and navy. I don't feel go together very well. If it was more of a blue, I think I'd probably like it more. But also the Alpha Tauri, if you go on their website, there's no navy in the actual brand. It is black and white. Or bring that to the car. First of all, obviously take all the colour out of the car. Leave a nice plain white base for me to build on. So we are going to start with my positioning of the AT logo. I've put it down here. Right, let's double click on here and actually look at it on its own. So see this bit in the top right corner? I feel that lends to something being drawn out from it, right? You've got quite a, you know, the logo kind of comes in on itself on the left, and I think that works. I like it as an icon. I think it works really nicely. And you've got this tail end. I feel that can be a leading line in the car. Okay, so that's my kind of thought process behind putting it here, because then I add this. So you've got that black is kind of protrudes out and it curves alongside the actual profile here. Because one of my issues, if we go back to the original car, is I hate how straight this looks here. I really don't like it. I feel the black really draws attention to it, or the dark navy, should I say, draws attention to how straight that is. And for me, it's just a bit jarring. I don't really like that. I know that's part of the vehicle design, but what I'm saying is the livery can find ways of making it look a bit more flowing and a bit more elegant. So I've got this kind of black curve down here, which again just draws attention away from that straightness. And I've taken the dark navy / black off of the top of there. So we've got that nice leading line down towards the front of the nose. I think it looks quite aggressive. I think that, you know, proportionally that icon is still taking up a huge part of the side of the car. So the branding in terms of like location, all that, it's all good. So I'm happy with how this is looking. Next, we've got just a little touch, just a little middle wheel nuts. I think they should be red to complement the Honda, and we'll see more of that in a bit. And then we've got the black along the top. Now, again, if we go back to the original, they've also got this kind of, they're using the dark at the top. And again, like, I don't necessarily disagree with that. It's more kind of, it's more within the logo in the actual original car. But I've kind of put that along the top because I feel, again, that breaks up nicely. You've got a nice balance. I'm really happy with the balance here between the blacks and the whites. It's kind of pretty much 50-50. But I'm going to keep the halo all white for this. Next, we've got our first inclusion of a little bit of red, and it's only a little bit of red, but you'll see as it comes to. So on the rear wing kind of end plates, whatever you call them, I've hit a little touch of red. Now, I like with the original car the inclusion of a minimal amount of red, but I'm going to add a little bit more actually than in the Alpha Tauri, because I feel like it can, again, because it's black and white, maybe it does need a little bit more just to, you know, make it stand out and elevate. But I'm happy with how it's looking. This basically right here, what you're seeing now is my base car that I've designed. Okay, so now it's a matter of adding the branding and the logos, because again, this just looks like a nondescript, you know, random car that could have come from anywhere. It's only when you actually see the logos in place, in situ on it, that it comes to life. So first and foremost, we have the Alpha Tauri logo, and I've decided to put it here. So I've put it here because it is connected to the icon. So it's kind of one long flowing piece that has the Alpha Tauri brand, which again, I like the type logo as well. I think it's a really smart logo. Quite happy with that, and I think it leans itself well. I don't hate its location in the actual real car. I don't hate it being up here. Again, I guess that probably does draw a bit more attention to it, if I'm honest. So from that point of view, it probably ticks the box a little better maybe. But yeah, that's where I've decided to put it on mine. Front wing end plate, same position as the current one. I've made it a little bit smaller because I feel it's just a little bit too close to the edges. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Now we have the Honda itself, the big red Honda on the side. I've elected to put it up here, draw a bit more attention to it. Hero Honda, just that little bit more. But again, I still feel it is, as much as it is red, it is still secondary to the AT logo, the icon. Yeah, I think it works well there. And then on the top bit, because of course they're the parent brand, yeah, sticking the Red Bull logo. You know what I mean? It's kind of subtle. Maybe I could have built the ball into the front, but because there is the ball in the Alpha Tauri icon, I felt that was a little bit overkill. So we've stuck the Red Bull logo just up there. I'm sure that'll keep Helmut Marko happy. You know what I mean? Next logo, Moose Cider. I've stuck them on the rear wing end plate, just below the reds. This would obviously be determined by how much each sponsor's paying, so how, you know, that's quite a prominent position on the car. So maybe they wouldn't necessarily be afforded that, but I've gone with Moose. I think it looks the best there. Now for the Honda badge. Location I've kept pretty much the same, but I've made it red, again, to draw attention to it. So you've got the red on the back, the red on the middle in terms of the Honda Hybrid logo, and a little bit of red on the front. I think that's, again, you've got little bits dotted around, not too much. You've obviously got the red on the wheel nuts as well. Again, subtle, not too much. Also, we've got Edifice Casio and My World. You can't really see them that well from here, but yeah. That's what I've decided to put on the front. And then we're getting some more logos on the back, the Edifice Casio and My World repping again. I just think this is a nice little location here. We've got a bit of space, so let's use it. Let's not go over the top though, because again, it's nice to kind of keep these things balanced. Then you've got Fits Body and Mind, which is the Alpha Tauri, I guess, like strap line as such. I've decided to put it here, straight under the Alpha Tauri logo. In the real car, it's there on its own, and it's just like, it looks a bit lost. It's like, what's that there for? Whereas with mine, it kind of okay, so that's the Alpha Tauri strapline. It kind of links it together a bit better, if you ask me. Now for the number 26 for old Daniel Kvyat, I've stuck it there. A little bit of space. Again, it's not too packed, it's not too busy around there, but I feel it kind of does the job nice enough. It doesn't need to be any more, you know, overboard or extravagant. Okay. And then last but by no means least, the name. I've put, again, old Danny Kvyat. Zoom in so you can see his little name with his flag, with his Russian flag above it as a little like strap, and you'd have the same for Pierre Gasly but with a French flag. So yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. I'm definitely, for me it's a no-brainer. For me, this is way better than the actual car, if you ask me. But obviously I'll leave the comparison on screen, and then of course the very important poll at the top for you guys and girls to let me know if you prefer mine or if you prefer the real thing. I will be very interested to see how people vote. 1 second, Minton wants to come in. Right, why are you being a pest? Hey! What are you doing, mate? Why are you spoiling my recording? Eh? Nah, he's not spoiling it, is he? I haven't shown you Minton for a while. Yeah, mate. He hasn't changed much. He hasn't grown or anything at all. So. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video. Again, more design bits. Let me know if you'd like to see more design stuff. Maybe give me some challenges or tasks that I could do. Because again, I love design. I love Formula One. Bringing it together is always going to be a good, fun video for me. So yes, please drop a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see more of videos just like this with me and him. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter as well, and all my other social medias are linked down below in the description. And of course, check out The Cool Down, my podcast series, 3 episodes in now. Last episode with Jess from the ex-WTF1. Really insightful, interesting, really good conversation. So my name's been Tommo, his name's been Minton. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one. Ta-da.